what is beautiful is authenticity and just being honest with the process, because I think if you hold back and you're trying to create something out of a narrative that isn't genuine to you and your own experience, it's not as easily identifiable. And abstract art is incredibly hard to convince the viewer that they are looking at something incredibly beautiful. My name's Antonia. I am an abstract artist from Sydney. I grew up in the western part of Sydney. Both my parents were new immigrants to the country, Sicilian, both from the same village, Podriali. They were extremely hardworking and brought me up in a very tight-knit Italian community. My grandfather was actually a tailor. My grandmother in Sicily was the town seamstress. They made shoes. So all of these, I guess, identifiable aspects of my upbringing sort of came full circle, then I became an artist. Initially, I worked in fashion, and then I stopped, that part of my life for a long period of time. I became a mother of 4 children and brought them up, and I decided that it was important as an example to acquire an education. I ended up doing a Bachelor of Fine Arts, which then went on to honours in Fine Arts at Sydney College of the Arts, which is part of Sydney University. I actually think going in as a mature age student attributed to a lot of my success in the art world, because, and I have to be honest about this, going in as a mature age student, a lot of the lecturers and teachers did not pay a lot of attention to your practice, because, or me in particular, there were challenges in the fact that I had to, I think, teach myself in a sense. The insecurity of being mature age amongst these incredibly intelligent, like bright and full of ideas students, which I loved. But again, feeling incredibly insecure and vulnerable, because you're like, I'm too old to be here, this is ridiculous, what am I doing? There are rules, and I don't know if I follow them, but I'm very naturally drawn just to creating through experience and experimenting. So somehow I have a natural ability to understand colour. It's something that you can learn, but for me it's a very natural instinct. It's so bizarre how all of my own experiences come back to this, again, this migrant experience that my parents had. I had my 4th child and realised that, to be independent and to be able to support my family, even financially, I had to find a way. And I was struggling, because mothering is great and beautiful and rewarding, but I didn't really, there was no part of myself outside that I could gravitate towards. And, and the mothering part, like for any mother out there knows, it's hard, it's really hard, because you really have to separate yourself, like you have to put yourself in all these different compartments in order, and then pull yourself together somehow and feel independent and happy and all of those things. I am genuinely lucky enough that the galleries have reached out to me. Being chosen to be part of a gallery is generally what happens. I think you just have to be very strong-willed and active in making art and sharing it. Now we have social media. Imagine if we didn't have social media, how many artists wouldn't be found? I really, really value the idea that my work is out there, it's being purchased, people are investing in me, so I invest in myself. Currently, I'm in this great studio, but the working hours are 8 till 5, so it's absolutely beautiful. In Sydney, it's very hard to find an art studio where you can express yourself, I guess make mess, pour paint on the floor if you want to, and do whatever you like, and also have this like access to beautiful light and windows. My perfect hours of working would be 6 till midnight, but it's almost like you get up in the morning and it's such a difficult, thing to process, like to start working on a blank canvas. You're starting with nothing. So there's a momentum that builds, because sometimes it can take all day and then the studio closes and you're like, I want to stay and I can't, I have to get out of here. But yeah, so they would be my ideal hours, but right now it's 8 till 5, like a real job. So the routine would be I come into the studio, I would sit behind my art table or on a chair, look at my work, and then I'll open up a diary and I'll just start making some marks, and then I'll go in and think about colour, and then I often talk about the mark making as like the body remembers. And so the idea of like placing the mark, a lot of my work happens when I'm remembering, and so I'll go in there and I'll draw. So that's what kind of calms the farm inside my head. There's a lot of, I guess if you look at my work, there's a lot of symbols. You can see this like very like long marks, a lot of body, into the work. I can sort of like pull myself back into this space where I just remember the feelings, the colours, the chatter, the music, all of those things. They all come back to me, and then I just, translate those experiences, those feelings back onto the canvas. I think the fact that oh gosh, it's incredible to make art. Like, I'm independent. I'm able to use something that I never knew existed in. 46 years of my life, I never knew I could paint. It's an extraordinary experience. This is a way of just sort of drawing somebody in and giving them the opportunity to have an experience that makes them feel part of something, so that almost like they're walking into an emotion. Being in a creative environment is so satisfying to the soul, and to be able to do this is an absolute privilege. It's a luxury, and I don't take it for granted. That's what motivates me. Right now, I am in my dream project. I'm making art and people are interested in it. So, it's pretty good. Yeah.